you guys are having a great Friday. As I get real like, all right, I had to get more stabilized here in the environment. I'm sorry if I'm a few minutes late, but here I am. I've decided to come on here today by myself and talk about revision. There are a lot of people that have experienced past trauma, you know, negative situations, whether it's abuse, whether it was a fire, rape. I know a lot of people in my group have had trauma, so I decided to get on here and talk about revision. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions. So I'm going to start talking about revision. I'm going to share my own experiences with revision. Most of them have been from the teachings of Neville Goddard. I learned about revision with Neville Goddard back in 2018. And then I recently learned about revision with Abdullah, which is similar to Neville Goddard, but a little different, because Abdullah, the difference between Abdullah and Neville is Abdullah said to forgive yourself and to forgive others, okay? Then revise the situation to how you would have wanted it to go, okay? Neville just taught you to revise it. He would say that you should revise the day's events at the end of the day before you go to sleep and before you would fall asleep, you know, in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, okay? So for instance, you know, today I didn't receive what I wanted in the mail or nowadays email, or I didn't like the deposit in my bank. I could revise it. I have actually personally used Neville's technique to go back and revise a ton of life events, and especially when they come to mind, or as I'm going throughout my day, I will revise. Like I've shared with you on my, I have 2 uploads regarding revision. Hi, Amy. Mine is regards to verbal and emotional abuse and money issues, and the lack of money is stressing me the hell out, and I am trying to not give into the stress. Hi. Okay, so every single thing that you said, I've revised. That's what I'm saying. I'll either revise it on the spot. Let's see, you got 2 questions. Okay, mine is regards to verbal and emotion abuse and money. Okay, so I have been physically, mentally, sexually, and verbally abused. Anyway, I have been bullied by people as a child, by classmates. I have been mistreated by supervisors. I was abused by my own parents, especially my father, and ex-spouse, okay? So I can relate. That's what you're here, who I'm here for. I'm here for everybody, but I've gone back and revised because as an educational psychologist, I know that false memories are stored exactly the way as real ones, and it will help you. It does help me. I don't ever think about them anymore. I've actually been around my ex-husband and not reacted because because I rewrote it. I also recently spent a day forgiving people that came to my mind. When I was even talking to Pierre, someone else came to my mind. I had a lawyer bully me. So I had to change my self-concept. That is, you can revise those instances, but I also recommend, fixing your self-concept, to tell yourself that you're worthy, to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and to love yourself. Like I didn't love myself, Amy. And then go back, I know it seems like, oh, no way, I'm not gonna, trust me, I thought logically, this isn't logical. This is to free you. So you want to free yourself from all this, okay? I've had a lot of terrible things happen to me. I'm good. How are you, darling? Hi, Tyler. Can you say to me, please, hi, Mayfios? Me to accept my dad and thank God. Okay, all right. So yeah, and now money. Okay, so that's what I would do. I work on my self-concept. I spent all of the day before yesterday, focusing on going back through my entire human existence. I can go back to like 4 I can remember, and remembering any person that, bullied me, abused me, wronged me. And then, like I said, more came to my mind. So I forgave that person. I blessed that person because, Amy, we're all connected. We are all connected by the Elohim. Okay, we're all chosen in Him before the foundation of the world, so we're all connected. Everyone is you pushed out. So I went back and actually blessed that person. So, and not only that, the other day I was on the phone with an office that I had to do business with. The woman was exceptionally rude to me. I was so nice to her. I'm like, I'm so sorry, ma'am, but your information's incorrect. And when I got off the phone after she was so rude to me, I said, you know what? I revised it and said, well, I didn't really revise it. I just said, you know what? God bless her. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Because now you have to forgive yourself, because when these incidents happened to you and me, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know law of assumption. We didn't know about revision, right? And it wasn't your fault. I get that. But it was in that you didn't know about the law of assumption. You didn't know that you were holding yourself bondage by not forgiving these people and not forgiving yourself for not knowing. Now you know, because you're hearing it from me. This will free you. You will feel so good. You might cry some tears. I know I have. I cried all morning yesterday for a couple hours. You got to get it out. You got to free yourself. Then you can, if you want, replace it with a better memory. And I've done that. If I, or I, say everybody loves me. That's why I said work on self-concept. Nothing bad's ever happened to me. I've always had good relationships. No, that person, so I've done that. Even like if somebody flips me off, I'm like, oh no, that person waved to me. They actually like me. Because of road rage out there, because you want to change. You want to cut the vines on all the things, all the trauma, and only focus on good things, only focus on perfection, only focus on love, because that way it will benefit you in your future. You see what I'm saying? I know this for a fact, Amy, if you keep reliving those moments over and over again, you're bringing them to the now. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. You keep reliving it in your mind, you're going to keep repeating the pattern over and over again, because I'm living proof of it, and I kept reliving it over and over. I've had 2 bosses that sexually harassed me because I kept worrying about my boss sexually harassing me. I've been sexually harassed. I've had a life of trauma. Now let's get to money. Hi from India. May God give you good health. Yes, ma'am, I have good health, but may God bless you too, beautiful. Hi, ma'am. Do you listen songs? Yes, I listen to music. Okay. Hi. All right. Makes sense. I'm glad I'm making sense. I can understand that. I did EFT on healing. Okay. Yeah, and I do recommend meditation, but only don't dwell on it. Don't fixate on it, because you just want to focus that now. Nothing but good things happen to you now. You're only living the best of the best now. Only are good words. I only attract the best experiences of life. I only attract miracles. If something bad happens, I do recommend revising it. Like I said, it's up to you. Now that I know Abdullah's method, I forgive the individual. I forgive myself. And then I replay it how I would have liked to have for it to have gone, and then I let it go. Now money, I have had problems with money. I had a lot of problems with money. I've had to file bankruptcy a long time ago. And if I would have known this, then I would have never had to file a bankruptcy. Okay? That was a long, long, long time ago. I'm trying to think when that was. It was well over 20 years ago. What makes you happy, Miss Professor? No, okay, so listen, I gotta tell her about money. I am male, actually. Okay, you're still beautiful. Don't you know you're above the organization of sex? Ciao, and Italy too. How are you? I know a little bit of French. Okay, with money, I have personally gone back and revised money incidents, and you have to have a good self-concept of money. So personally, like I was saying the other day, with robotic affirmations, I have no problem manifesting money, but the problem is because I had a bad self-concept of money, meaning I always thought that money was hard to come by. You had to work hard for it. It doesn't grow on the trees. I wasn't blessed to be rich. It's not, now I'm like, no, God wants us to be well off. He wants us to live, universe wants us to live a life of, luxury, paradise, Not, I've even retold myself, no, money does grow on trees. Oh no, money does chase me. And I'm going to tell you what has happened as a result of me changing my self-concept pertaining to money. Because if you just robotically affirm, like I told you the other day, and then, you get the money, but because you have a bad self-concept of money, it's going to go as fast as it comes in your bank account. And that's what happened to me. But because now I have changed my beliefs and assumptions pertaining to money, that I always attract money. Money loves me. I love money because if I get money, I can reward other people, and I can assure you, I'm not getting it off YouTube. So I have found money. I win money. I receive money, from work that I wasn't expecting. I've gotten a lot of opportunities. Opportunities will abound you. So if you just also stay and the best and most important thing to do is to regulate your nervous system. You said you did EFT tapping. I highly recommend regulating your nervous system because I do that all the time, because that was my other problem, Amy, is I was walking around stressed. And when you're walking around stressed, you're walking around in a state of lack. You want to walk around in a peaceful, harmonious state so that you can magnetize money and love and peace, harmony, and positivity into your life. You find it hard to find? Yeah. Oh, you got to. I was stolen from a lot when I was wealthy. Okay. Yeah, me too. So I was sexually harassed at two VA hospitals. One in Albuquerque. See how your patterns repeat themselves in Albuquerque and then in Fayetteville. And so I quit both jobs. In both jobs, they were identical. They were both minority men that sexually harassed me, and both of them had a history of sexually harassing women, right? And I've gone back and revised it because with the second one, I had no witnesses to validate what happened to me. The first one, I've revised it where they paid me and compensated me because my boss ended up sexually harassing the woman that watched him sexually harass me. So I quit and went and got another job with another government agency, right? And one woman that saw him sexually harass me lied under oath that she saw him grab my buttocks. I've gone back and revised that whole thing. And then another woman watched him sexually harass me and lied too under oath, and then subsequently wanted to get a job where I was working. I was like, I can't get you a job. You can't. Government agencies, that's civil service, they're really hard to get. So I was like, that's I'm not the boss, so you're gonna have to apply. And she didn't get the job. I didn't wish any ill will on these people, but karma, you couldn't even tell the truth under oath that this man sexually harassed me. So he ended up getting fired. And then the second guy sexually harassed, he was a janitor. He sexually harassed 13 females. So I left the job and went and got all my college. I'm like, okay, so that's the other thing, Amy. Give everything good meaning, because you don't know that what's happening, even in these ugly situations, these challenges, is leading you up to something better. So give it all good meaning. So I'm like Neville. I don't care if you get fired from a job today, because then if that's what it takes for you to go get something better, more money, that's what I have to say. Thank you for this, because I know about the law for a long time. I'm mainly been just focusing on flipping my thoughts in story. Okay, well, you can do that, but here's the most, I used to do that. So I've been doing this for almost 8 years. Can you get out of the room, please? Yes, thank you. My assistant was verifying that everything's good. Everything's good. Love you. Thank you. So here's another thing. Yes, I flip my thoughts, but that's not enough. What I have found is that, I've done a lot of research on this, plus I teach it, and I teach it here, but I teach this information I have for many years. The key is to you can't walk around in a state of stress. That's what I was getting at. Regulate your nervous system. Do some deep breathing. I'm not telling you to go meditate. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just saying that I had to regulate my nervous system. That was the other key, and you can do it in a bunch of ways. You could do box breathing. You could just take deep inhalations. You want to exhale more than you inhale, and inhale peace and harmony, and exhale, depression, anxiety, fear, all the negative things. And then the other key is Neville was right. What do you mean? The feeling's the secret. I want you to walk around in a state of contentment. Smile. Put the smile on your face. Don't look for it. The evidence always follows. We are always ahead of our evidence. If it makes you feel better, revisualize it, because the key is to focus on what you want, feel it to be real emotionally, and to breathe. Okay, those are the 3 keys. I'm gonna make a video on that the next time, probably on Monday, about feeling it, focusing what your intention, and then I want you to breathe. My assistant is a 2-year-old, although I am going to focus on manifesting a new home ASAP. Oh, good. I'm breathing and saying, yes, good. Okay, I know. You got to let go. So I had a dream that you have to let go of the old story. You have to let go of the old you. When doubt creeps in, you're like, no, I'm not that person anymore. I'm this person. I mean, I have to remind myself sometimes, for instance, we actually, I know, I don't want to talk politics, but I'll talk about Elon Musk, okay? We know he's a billionaire, right? He doesn't worry. If he loses $1 million today, he doesn't care. The reason why he doesn't care, hi, Pierre. The reason why he doesn't care, because he's in that state of confidence. He has such an amazing self-concept. He doesn't care. So what's going to happen is he's going to manifest another million. He doesn't care. That's how you have to be. You cannot care. All right? That's right. You embody the state. Thank you, Pierre. You embody the state. Assume it to be done. I know the most challenging part, and tell yourself the opposite, that the 3D world is easy for you to navigate in. Remind yourself. But if doubt creeps in, take your deep breaths and say, no, that's all me. This is the new me. I know that I'm going to get what I want. You don't doubt, because just like the ugliness manifests in our lives, I'm guilty of it, so too will the good stuff. Stay focused on that. Stay focused on the feeling that you feel. The key is to feel as good as possible. If anything, feel love for life. Feel grateful without seeing any evidence, okay? Because it will come, Amy. Yes, he is. Yeah, okay, I was going to say him, but I didn't want to get into politics. I actually love Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I love him, and that he has a phenomenal self-concept. He doesn't care. So if he lost $1 million today, he doesn't care, because he knows he'll get it again. He inherited 150 million, and he's obviously, manifested large sums of money and wealth into his life, and because he was confident. So you just had to be confident in everything you do, and you're going to move about under compulsion. You're going to take inspired action, and it'll lead, trust me, these manifestations that you are wanting to experience are literally they're going to fall into your lap. Okay? That power is within. Yes, Trump is the same. I love Trump, and I don't care what, I know, I don't either. Pierre and I talk about Trump all the time, because he's an example of somebody who has a very confident self-concept. His self-concept is very strong. He doesn't care what anyone thinks, and that is how you have to be to navigate in this reality. I do believe. So the other thing is, like I was telling Pierre, when I was being sexually harassed and I quit my job and I didn't have another job lined up, and I didn't know what I was going to do for money, I was like, yeah, the 3D is fake. This is before I knew law of assumption. This was so long ago. You know what I went out and did, Amy? I went out and served at the soup kitchen. I volunteered my time. I gave to others, which is what I'm doing here on YouTube. Because I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care. Because I know it's already done. I walk as though it is. Like Neville said, I did it. And that I'm going to continue to do it until that what I did has manifested in my reality or externalized in my reality. I'm not going to worry about the how. I'm not going to worry about the when. I don't care, because it's already done. And I remind myself it's done. And I embody that feeling. Even if I have to smile, have fun, go about your life, find things that make you feel good, do them. Just like with being with your 2-year-old granddaughter, like, me with my grandchildren, because there's so many things that I can't wait to tell you guys that I'm manifesting. So, and that's why I come on here to mostly talk about manifesting problems out of your lives. You know, money is so easy to manifest. Problems are a little different. And that's why I tell you to be that mountain. Storms are going to come. Be that mountain. Stand firm. Continue to remind yourself that you have that which because you've already imagined it or scripted it. You've already assumed it. If you have to, like I said, work on your self-concept. Oh, I forgot the quote. The quote, gratitude is very powerful. It is. Be thankful before you don't, and this is what I've learned from Dispenza and because Dispenza is a neuroscientist. I am an educational psychologist. I learned a lot about the brain, and I've taught a lot of courses about the brain. I've taught learning psychology. I've taught human growth and development, and the brain is obviously something that's very important. Plus, I've read, and it's a powerful book called The Mind, the Brain, Neuroplasticity, and the Power of Mental Force. So I know that what I'm telling you at the very least is so powerful. You know, you can affirm if you want, because repetition is the key. No, it's this way. No, I'm healthy. You want to feel the feeling of the health before it comes. Like I'm having a leg cramp here. This chair sucks. You want to feel, I know it's hard, you know, like we said, but you got to tell yourself, no, it's easy for me to embody the state. It's law of assumption. No, it's easy for me to embody it. Have fun. It's easy for me to embody the state of my wish fulfilled. I just walk around happy. Don't look for anything to substantiate why you're happy. That's why Neville taught, at the very least, say thank you, or isn't it wonderful, something amazing is happening to me. Don't look for anything, and put yourself in a state of contentment, happiness, feel joy, gratitude, love for what's going to come. Because like I said, you're always ahead of your evidence. Dispenza has proven it. Joe Dispenza was in a terrible car accident and almost died. Okay? And he healed himself. He didn't want to go on a bunch of narcotics. Okay? I don't take medication of any type. I just take vitamins. All right? So, I don't look my age. I don't feel my age. I don't believe in age. I don't believe in time. Attention or focus is very important. Yes, that's what I said, Pierre. Thank you for the reminder. The Neville quote. I know which one, honey. The one that I just said. There's so many. He has so many. That, you know, living in the end. Okay. The end, or acceptance of the end wills the means. There's another Neville quote. Another Neville quote is like he said that when he was locked in, as it were, and he didn't want to be in the military. He imagined himself at his apartment in New York City because he had a phenomenal imagination, and he had a vivid imagination. He embodied all the senses. He smelt the city's stinky air, or he saw the street outside his apartment. He touched all the contents of his apartment, right? And he saw his wife sleeping in her bed, his daughter sleeping in his bed. And he said that because he had been disapproved to get out, even though he met the criteria, he was 38 years old. So if he was first disapproved, and then because he, you know, exercised the mysticism and the mystical power within him, he saw a hand come out and scratch off disapproved and write approved. That which I've done, I have done. Do nothing. 9 days later, he was released from the army and went home. Yes. So revision. I just want to tell you it works. It's worked for me. I don't think of all this trauma anymore. I was even molested by a relative, and he's still alive. He's 92 years old. And I that's why I'm getting on here. I'm not embarrassed. I haven't done anything wrong, but I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven him, even though I was a child, and changed it. So when I've seen him, I don't think about it anymore. I'm giving you these powerful examples because I want you to know that revision does work, even with money. So if I tell you, love you, if your bank account isn't reflecting what you want it to, go in your imagination, see the money that you want. $50,000 on the line, 100, I don't know, everybody's different. It's all the same. Money is energy. Pierre just did a live on there's no difference between $1 or a free cup of coffee and millions of dollars, okay? There isn't. It's all the same. You don't have to use techniques if you don't want to. The key is to focus on what you want. Imagine yourself enjoying the money, the love, the wealth, whatever it is that you want to experience. And imagine that, breathe it, fall asleep in that emotional state of contentment, love, joy, gratitude. Seeing it is already done. Feel all the tones of reality, like Neville did when he wanted to go home. He wanted to go home to Barbados in 1930s, and he had no money at all. And I mean no money. He was dog, just poor. Go look up Neville Goddard. He's now worth $65+ million, and he's gone off. His family still has that grocery store business that's worth over $1 billion. So, Abdullah taught him. Abdullah, said, no, you're in Barbados. He would go home at night as he'd fall asleep. He smelt the salt air. He imagined himself in his mom's and dad's house, touching things in there, seeing and feeling what he would if he was there, tasting the salt air, smelling the salt air, seeing New York northwest of Barbados. All of that imaginal scene that he embodied and felt it to be real. It took him 2 months because he didn't know what he was doing, and Abdullah slammed the door on him because he didn't want to explain it, because that's creating more resistance. But he still manifested it, and that's where he began his career as a lecturer in Law of Assumption and wrote all his books, which I have the collection, and I'm going to keep reading them. Hopefully I can get one done this weekend. I thought 50K, and then you said it. Oh my, there you go. It's a perfect synchronization. So the more that you exercise your imagination on behalf of you and others, I do it for others all the time, because when you imagine for others, it's yourself. Like I said, there you pushed out. It only benefits you, and it will come to you tenfold. This is all from the work of Abdullah, because I've studied Abdullah, so who taught Neville, and he didn't leave this realm of time until he was almost 110 years old. He believed that's why if someone asks for help, you give it to them, just like what you're doing. You're helping your family. I'm doing the same exact thing you're doing. Okay, I own a home in North Carolina. I'm here. I haven't been in my own house for over 2 years because I'm helping my son. My son almost died. He served 14 years in the Army and the Air Force, and he's been overseas. He lived overseas. He spent half his career overseas. He has so many problems, I'm not even going to go into it, but I say no, he's healthy, he's whole, and I feel it, to be real. I didn't, I smiled because when you smile, it makes you feel good inside. You feel really, really good, and it conveys that you're feeling an emotion, a positive emotion. You can't smile and not feel a positive emotion. Within 24 to 48 hours later, they went from having him on our operating table, take his whole colon out, and I revised it, to no, the doctor said absolutely no, I'm not taking a colon out of a 38-year-old patient. And he's been fine ever since. He's now in medical school. I'm glad, Amy. Forgiveness is let go of the past. Yes, sir. My sister is in the hospital right now, and I'm standing firm that I will too, Amy. I will pray for your sister. I love helping others. I have a cousin that was just diagnosed with skin cancer. Her mother has full-on cancer. So I'm getting ready to go see them both here soon. So I know what you're saying. I stand firm that they're healthy. I've done that recently. Pierre helped me heal my granddaughter, who was literally on her deathbed. Her lungs were her right lung was eating itself. And Pierre actually prayed more than I did, because I was not in a state of mind or a place to do it, because I was busy. I was unfortunately detained at that time, but I still didn't think against it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't gonna give into it, the 3D. I said, no, she's perfectly normal. I imagined her playing. I imagined her, I watched some videos, I watched her picture, looked at her pictures and imagined that she was doing those exact things right now, because there's power in the now moment. When you change, when you put your focus only on that, when you feel it to be real and you breathe it instead of, and I changed my shallow breaths of anxiety to deep, relaxed breathing, peaceful peace. Because the science has proven when you have deep breathing with focus and feeling it be real, nothing but positivity is going to result out in the dead world. I am extremely powerful, so are you. I know they are. Mine was too. Mine is too. Why do you think I started this YouTube channel? Trust me, I'm like, they you know what they did? I hope they're watching right now. My son called me screaming at it, and he goes, you can shove your manifesting bullshit right up your fucking ass. I feel you. I'm sorry. That is what I was told. So I know. And I said, no, I'm not going to change who I am. No, this is how it is. I didn't argue with him. I accepted it. I revised it, so I know revision works. And she was released from the hospital in a matter of a couple days. And I stuck with it. I even did the Ho'oponopono. I have a video of me in New Hampshire as it was happening. I said, let's do Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. I did that one whole entire night for Anna Lee. I cried, but I imagined that she was healthy. And I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to the old me. That was a challenge. God, universe sends challenges your way so that you can, you know what, prevail. And he's going to reward you. And he did. She is perfectly normal. And I mean perfectly normal. Amy is the best. You are, Amy. You're extremely yeah, I know. I know. How do you think I felt? I called Pierre crying. He's like, no, the power's within you. He made me refocus. See, iron sharpens iron. I'm leading this group, and I've had to face my own negative things out here and change it. So I know that it works. I revised it. And my son loves me. He may not agree with what I teach. I don't care. I'm not going to go back. I know it works. Law of assumption, baby. I believe Neville. Science proves Neville. This is my forte. You know, I didn't tell him not to give the child antibiotics. I told them to have positive emotions and focus that she's fine and breathe. And I tell them to go breathe. Breathe. I did for my best friend years ago. They said she had lung cancer. That's why they are saying about my sister. My best friend went into surgery and they came out and said it was just a clap. There you go. I have been quiet about it because my daughter says it. I know. I feel you. Hey, that's why I'm here for you, Amy. I love you. I love you, Amy. I forgive your sister. I forgive her. This is the truth, though. What we're teaching right here is the truth. Not only that, there's scientific. There's been there's different studies that have been done where people had to have surgery instead. The physicians that believe what we're teaching here, what I'm saying, Neville, Joe Dispenza, Joseph Murphy, Abdullah, and the scientific neuroimaging science and thousands, if not millions of case studies now from Dispenza, including himself. See, I am the placebo, supernatural. He's got books published. They stood over a body that needed surgery, and they eliminated the tumor in her body by just assuming it was gone and that she was perfectly whole, that she was perfectly healthy. They believed it to be real, and guess what? She was healed. They show it live. She was healed. Yes, so emotions are vibrations. Thank you, Pierre. 3D is very fake, but the invisible world is real. That's right. First here, then here. Well, you know, Amy, Just like Pierre said, the Wright brothers, you know, people probably thought they were crazy, right? You're going to fly a plane? What? Fly? We only walk. We're human. Well, look at Wright brothers first in flight. They said it about the man going to the moon. Now look at all the launches. People have got, we got satellites out there now. We've sent robot to collect data on Mars. My son Christian, I talk about him all the time. I talked about him again to Pierre last night because it was really, really, really bad what he went through, okay? But doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he has a top secret security clearance with the military, and he graduated from the United States Air Force Academy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't look like he had a glimmer of hope at all. And then just like you talk about medical, I have an aunt with lung cancer, okay? So, and because I know how, I don't say anything to anybody. I mediate God, universe to the individual and assume that individual to be perfectly fine. I do this all the time. My daughter was complaining about her teeth, right? So I did, at the time I was in between medical insurance, and I said, look, I'll just pay. I don't care, just go in. I was tired of her complaining about her teeth. This wasn't that long ago. But in my mind's eye, I'm like, no, her teeth are perfectly fine. She has absolutely beautiful teeth like me. She has beautiful teeth. She has beautiful hygiene. Everything is fine. Guess what? She went in $100 later. Her teeth are fine. She needed that reassurance. I paid for it, but I knew her teeth were fine. Something might have got lodged in there. I don't know. But I give everything good meaning, and that's what I just said. Something got lodged, but guess what? She has perfectly fine teeth. She had another, my nose always itches because there's lint in the air here. Then another incident recently, she was saying her back hurt really bad. And I said, she said her back felt great. Oh my God, her back feels great. I never heard another word after I did that a couple times for her. I just assumed it. I never look. The other key is don't come from a place of lack, Amy. You cannot look for evidence out here. If you need validation, always validate in here. I would have never had my kids without my doctor. He must have somehow known the law because I didn't. Although I did get frustrated and said I would have my babies. I got you. I've had C-sections, so I can feel you on that one. My favorite clients were the Navy and Marines. Oh yeah, your son must be amazing. He is. I have this one too that's here that owns this house. He's a veteran of the Army and the Air Force, and Christian is a veteran already. He went through hell to get where he is. He wanted to get in the academy out of high school, and the instructor said, your son's not cadet material. They said he wasn't athletic enough, so I told him that. He now weighs 200 something pounds. He's very athletic, and he got through the program, but he had to join. He dropped out of college because he did get a scholarship. He was a straight A student, and then he joined the military. He didn't like it. He didn't like the base he was at. I was telling Pierre last night, there was a suicide every month at the base he was stationed at. He was massively depressed. So he put in to go out of Iraq. He went to Iraq. He was there 2 weeks. For some reason, he was on a roof. He doesn't remember why, because he sustained a concussion and a hairline fracture to the spine. He went back to the base that he hated after he went to a third world country, and they shipped him out. All the time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, what the frick is going on here? Everything's perfect. My son is stellar. You know, I started, affirming and imagining that he was perfectly fine. He went back to his base. He put in for 2 things to take a private pilot training program, and he applied to the United States Air Force the Academy preparatory program, and subsequently got in. This all happened within weeks, not even 4 weeks. And I didn't think they'd approve him, I told Pierre, because he had a hairline fracture to the spine. But while that happened, I said, no, he's perfectly fine. He's perfectly fine. So he cleared the physical. So, he was able to get in. He was able to graduate. He just, because of it, he did not get the job that he wanted. But I still assume that he has what he wants. So things happen. I give it good meaning. That happened for a reason. Why? I don't know. It's not for me to decide. God's ways and thoughts are higher than ours and past our knowing. We have to give it to the universe. We have to let go. When they say let go, they mean let go of you meddling it. Because if you meddle in it, you're not, you're going to make matters worse. You have to let go. You're going to literally walk into your manifestation. Synchronization, Amy. There you go. More synchronizations. So you love you love military clients. That's awesome. So do I. I have students right now. I have one He's okay. I have a student right now. He's stationed in Del Rio. He's in the Air Force. He just, because he does exactly what we're teaching right here on this YouTube channel. He wrote a paper about athletes imagining success, positive and obviously amazing outcomes, right? By meditating, by breathing. The science at my university that I have access to all of it, proves that you as an athlete, which it applies to everything, but because he embodies that, he magically got through I have students that take a year. He did what most students underneath me take, dissertation students take a year. He did it in 3 weeks. He wrote 3 chapters and they were approved in under 3 weeks. Why? Because he probably imagined himself doing it like that. And then he wrote me an email last night saying, I'm going to take a break. I just went through a lot. Doesn't matter. I have to call him when I get a moment and tell him, you did a year's worth of work in 3 weeks. He must have imagined himself being successful. I know that I do. I imagine that my students are successful. Of course I do. I assume it. I don't look for the results. I don't look for evidence. If I need evidence, I go in here. No, they're all successful. Of course they are, because I'm the best professor on the planet. Just like I am the best I am everyone's favorite YouTube professor. You know, I am and you can go Google my name. You'll see that I have a 5-star rating because of positivity and because I care about the individual learner. And my students always say that they'll take me again, that they wish that I was the professor for all of their courses. Wow, I had a student that was told he would never move or walk again. He walked into my training room a year later. He's in the Navy. Oh, you're giving me chills. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. This is awesome. I did that with my black belt. I got it. There you go. Look at you. You're proof that the law works. So there you go. So I was telling Pierre that I used to, yep, Jesus loves me. Jesus is buried. Do you not realize Jesus Christ is in you? And of course, unless of course you fail to meet the test. Test yourselves and see. Jesus Christ is in you, darling, sir, ma'am. Okay, so that's it. I knew that this worked, right? For like for instance, I tell myself that I'm athletic, just like you. With your black belt, I tell myself when I'm working out, I'm strong, man. I'm strong. I'm fit. I can run and I can cycle. I can lift weights. I can do push-ups. I can do yoga. And I tell myself, I do not think against it, right? But then for some reason I thought, well, no, I can't use this knowledge, this law to problems. Oh, yes, you can. All things are possible to you. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians. I'm trying to remember I know the Bible like the back of my hand. So, believe you have received it and you will. Do you not realize that you are made in the likeness and image of God? We are the gods who fell, but we will die like men. He chose you in him before the foundation of the world. So like Pierre shared in his video the other day about how if you are in a state of abundance, more will be added unto you. If you're in a state of lack, it'll be taken from you. That's right. Everything is possible. We are limitless beings. That's it. 4:13. Thank you so much. I love that verse. I love the Bible. I do not interpret. I used to believe that God in the kingdom of heaven was out there in the blue sky. No. It tells you in the Bible the kingdom of heaven is within you. So if you want to experience the kingdom of heaven out here, you have to experience it in here. First seek the kingdom of heaven within you, and then it will be added unto you. You have to bring the unseen to the seen by first assuming, declaring it, appropriating it in here, and then it'll be given to you out there. Hi, Empress. Glad to see you, darling. I still struggle with that. Thank you, Catholic Church. I know, right? I know. That's what I was saying to Pierre, that it's like I got all this knowledge, right? I paid all this money and all this learning, and then I wanted this, you turn around and you want to dump it all because you are a limitless being. You are. You command that crap into fruition. No, it's this way. No, it's this way. Command it. Do not let the 3D dictate to you. When I was first beginning, because I didn't have anyone to turn to on YouTube, they were confusing me more. I would let the 3D tell me, oh no. So I'd be like, oh my God, I imagine it didn't work. Oh my God, this is worse. No, it's meant to happen. Give it good meaning. Okay? No, I don't care what's going on out there. You're the validation. No, it's this way. Keep focusing over there and keep embodying the state that it's done. Trust me, please. I did it with another court case. Somebody ran me off the road and then tried to say that I did something to him. No, because I didn't want to call 911 like an idiot. And I kept giving in, and then I kept saying, no, it's this way. No, it's this way. In the end, he made a complete idiot out of himself in court. And I actually could have sued the state as well as this town that did everything wrong. But I let it go. I just wanted it dropped so I can move on with my life. I'm not here to, I leave people alone. I treat people with the utmost respect. Do unto others as you have done unto you. I do that. And like I said, if I see something that's contrary to that, I forgive them, forgive myself, and say, oh, that didn't happen. People always love me. They know they love me. They know they love me. Even if I win money on my lottery scratch off, and it was like, let's say it's $25. Man, I'm so grateful it was 25 billion. I revise that all day, every day. No, I'm a wealthy philanthropist. I'm out here helping everybody. I'm out here serving the world. I'm teaching people the right way, not the wrong way, with limiting beliefs. That you're not good enough, you didn't come from the right family, that you're not this color, you're not this race, or you're not that. No, and that's wrong. And that's why I homeschooled. Now my son can understand why I homeschooled him mostly, but then he wanted to go back to high school, and he was taught all these limiting beliefs. Even his own ROTC instructor said, he's not cadet material. Oh, yes, he is. This mama said so. Oh, yes, he is. And that was out without me even knowing anything about Neville Goddard. This was back in 2014, 15. So that's why I told Pierre, I always spoke highly of my children. So I know, that's why I know that it works. Besides, the scientific evidence says that there's a correlation between positive affirmations and thoughts and feelings of positivity and results happening out here in the dead neutral world, long before I met Neville. Yep. The more you resist, the more persist. You got to keep persisting. LOL, I was arrested for self-defense. I refused to accept it. I kept saying I've always had a clean record. I literally just, yeah, it will. It will go away. That literally went away. It was hard for me not to turn around and file charges against them because I had an elderly couple see him try to hit me. But I didn't want, they were scared of him. And they were afraid of him. They were in there, and I'm like, well, okay, that's you. I'm not afraid of him. He ran me off a road in one town and tried to hit me in another. Because all these small towns, if you look at New Hampshire, there's all these small little towns all together, clustered together. Then in a third town, the town I was actually in, he was stalking me on my lives because I would go live and sell clothing. So I called the Dover police and I'm like, listen, I want this guy arrested. He's stalking me after he ran me off a road and then tried to hit me. The more you're in, Amy, I did that with my good job. There you go. You can be revising all the time. So it sounds like you really got a good love you. It sounds like you have a good grasp and understanding. You know what? Just don't ever. Okay, so like Neville would say, and I think I've uploaded this secret. His secret is this, right? And you know it, Amy. Like I told you, so I'm manifesting. Well, I always go to money. I'm manifesting $50,000 right now, right? And then I go look in my account and it says I have $5,000, okay? It's missing a freaking zero. It's a glitch. It hasn't caught up yet, man. I know that it's coming, that it's happening right now. The deposit's being right now. Or you can go to past it and say, oh, no. There's $50,000 in it. You can do it because you have that, what you have is the power of the now moment. Personally, I go after, or, you know, nope, that's incorrect. There's 50,000 in there. No, no. The bank there's a glitch. The bank didn't put the extra zeros on the end there. I do that all the time. That's why I love revision. Pierre says that he doesn't really revise, but he has revised. How about you, Empress? Don't focus on that. Some people are crazy. Yes, ma'am, they are. They are. I'm back. Thank you, honey. Thank you for coming in here. So yeah, people can do some, look, and I give it all good meaning. And I forgive them. I've forgiven the, oh, you want to hear something crazy? So I forgave the guy that did that to me, but I was telling Pierre that I recently, I want to say about 6 months ago, I had a dream that he was in a building that burned down. And it could mean different things. Maybe he's changed. Because I've had a dream where I was incinerated and I woke up on the bed. I was thinking I was going somewhere else because, you know, dreams are real too. And then I ended up waking up right here on the bed. I was like, okay, well, that means that I'm dead to the old me. And I am. I felt, I'm not going to lie to you, I have felt totally different since then. Yeah, I have too. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, my leg keeps cramping up. I have too. I look, you can robotically affirm all that I ask of you, because I've robotically affirmed for 2 years. I'm not making that up. I was so desperate for money. I just ask that if you do that, you know, because it's better that you robotically affirm than use of something positive than something negative, okay? And not only that, neuroimaging research has shown it takes 10,000 minimum. Really, I say weeks. Takes 2 to 3 weeks to forge a new neurological pathway in the brain. So you could affirm it, but just embody the feeling. I don't care what it takes to make you be happy, and don't look for the evidence. Do not, because then if you're looking, you're coming from a state of lack. Just assume that the money's in the account. Like I tell you, I think mine's green. Some people have blue. That means a deposit, right? That's what I recommend. See it there. That's what I do. I see it there. I see it there. I always see it there. Okay? And I have a good relationship with money now. I have an extremely, and without, and it's not because of YouTube. I have a very good self-concept of money. I revised because I used to have those ugly beliefs, like I told you in the beginning of the slide, that money doesn't grow on the tree. Money's hard to come by, that, you know, I have to work 3 jobs to get money put away, because that's what I was taught. My father worked 3 jobs. He was in the Air Force. He went and got his plumbing license. My dad worked 7 days a week. My mom's still alive, and my dad left my mother very, very, very well off. What? Huh? I don't care. The universe only, okay. The universe understands frequency, not matter. I see it in my PayPal. There you go. Yeah, I did too. At least if you affirm the positive, at least it's going to counter the negative. That's all. I just asked. I know you're angry. I've manifested under anger, but it usually goes. It's because then I go back to the old me, and you can't do that. You got to build that positive self-concept about yourself. You are the money. Yes, ma'am. Yes, emotion equals energy and motion. You're better off to be in a state of gratitude. Okay, just don't look for anything to substantiate why you're in a state of gratitude. Yeah, so a lot of people come on, you know, a lot of people tell me they have money issues. I no longer have money issues, but the key is, like I said, if you want to have a continuous flow of money, just see yourself in a state. If you want abundance, in other words, just be grateful for the abundance, okay? And it's going to come. Yeah, it's just paper. It's just energy. That's all it is. And there's no difference between a penny and $1 million. It's all the same energy. I know, me too. I don't like being angry either. I have been angry, but I don't recommend it. It's not good. Yes, I know, the print money, yes. There's no, I know, that's what I'm saying, the print money, there's no difference between a penny. I don't have, usually there's, the other day was money here. There's no difference between a penny, you know, and millions of dollars. If I'm holding a stack of even hundreds or thousands or whatever, you see what I'm saying? There's no difference. It's still the same energy. So yes, you are the money. Just see, sorry, hold on. Well, I'm getting off here soon. I'm getting off in 5 minutes. So I hope that this has helped. You can revise any past memory. So that the reason that you do that is so you don't relive and don't you know, in the future experience, you don't experience another one. You don't want to keep reliving them. You want to get rid of them. That's why I say replace them. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience out here and one that you created in your mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't know it. Spend the day working on your self-concept. 444, nice. Yeah, it's 144 here. Yes, so Pierre and I did one on instant manifesting last week. We talked about it live. I will, you know what? I will recreate one on instant manifesting. You have something to say? Okay. Well, it's just that I have something to go do. So I can create one on instantly manifesting. I have done instant manifestation. So I can, the key is to not think against it, because, you know, you have either option, Amy. You see yourself as an instant that you can manifest instantly, or you see yourself as you can't. All things are possible to you. Okay? So as long as you're believing and assuming that you can and don't think against it, you will. If you want something to come post haste, that's why you live in the now moment. It's happening now. I'm receiving the money now. I'm receiving the paperwork now, or I already did. See it as a past event, and tell yourself that you can manifest instantly. It's possible. People do it all the time. We manifest because we were born manifesting. The minute we took our first breath and God breathed life into us, we started manifesting. Thank you, Pear. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Empress. Thank you, Pear. Thank you, Amy, for a wonderful live. Oh yeah, no problem. That's why I got on here. I will do an instant manifestation update video because mine's old. It's from, I don't even know. It's old. So I'll do an updated version. The key, if you want to manifest instantly, breathe it in. Do some meditation, at least 3 days a week, 3 times a day. I'm sorry, even when you're walking or taking a break, focus, feel it to be real. Try as much as possible, embody as many senses, and breathe, feel, focus. Okay, feel it, embody all of the senses, all of the tones of reality. Okay, and don't look for it. Do not look on the phone. Don't look on the emails. Don't look on your messages. Don't go to the bank account. Don't look. That is the biggest key, because you're coming from a state of lack. You cannot come from a state of lack. Thank you, Pear. Thank you, thank you. Yes, this live is perfect. Thank you, Pear. Thank you, Empress. She wanted to say something. It's just that I have to go do something. I think I glitched. Somebody called me. Thank you, Empress. I hope you guys can still hear me. No, you're fine. No, I appreciate you coming in here and helping out. I have to go, though. I'm getting a phone call and I have to go get it. So I understand life happens. I'm going to keep doing these lives. I'm here to help you. All right, well, thank you, Amy, for getting on here. And I will create the next video, then will be on instant manifestations. But we did talk about last week, and the key is to be at peace and assume it is done, and don't look for evidence at all because you're coming from a state of lack, and tell yourself that you can do it. It's already done. I love you too. I love all of you. I love you, Pierre. I love you, Empress. I love you, Amy. I love you all. And I'm going to assume that you guys already have all that you desire, because you're here to experience nothing but a paradise. So that whatever's you experience it here, and it'll be reflected out here. It has no choice. Tell it, give it no option. Command it into fruition. I love you so much. When you master the state you want, you truly embody the state that no one or anything can stop you from. That's right. No one can stop you. No one, no thing. It's done. No matter what. She's right. Thank you, Empress. I love you too. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. And thank you, Pierre, for chiming in. Congratulations to your friend. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Oh, no problem, Empress. Thank you for joining in. I love you guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.